Part 48. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 471. Lang Yu swallowed the blood. He was originally a 200-level Saint King, and his physical genes were very compatible with the Blood Wolf blood. With a flash of white light, he achieved the status of God without any suspense. In an instant, his eyes became sharp, and his life level made a qualitative leap. He was surrounded by rosy clouds and his divine power was rolling. "Is it coming?" Huang Mao sent a message to Yang Tian. Yang Tian did not speak, and the two stared at Lang Yu together. However, they waited for a long time, but Lang Yu did not move at all. "Hey, it's strange, did we blame him wrongly?" Huang Mao asked curiously. "Not necessarily, it's still early, he may still want to use us to deal with the Xinwu Emperor and the Xinwu Empire," Yang Tian replied. "That's right, he is weak and has no foundation. Even if he becomes a god, it will be difficult for him to become a god. If he turns against us now, he will be dealt with by the Xinwu Empire sooner or later," Huang Mao quickly reacted and said. "Well, anyway, we just watch quietly. If he has no evil intentions, that's the best. If he has evil intentions, I am sure I can get rid of him," Yang Tian said confidently. Now, Lang Yu has achieved the status of a god, and his apparent combat power is equal to Yang Tian. Lang Yu has the Blood Wolf Order and Doqi. Yang Tian also has the Dragon Transformation and the Scarlet Shield. If a fight really breaks out, Yang Tian won't panic at all. He just needs to watch his performance quietly. Lang Yu clenched his fists, his eyes flickered, and a kind of arrogant smile that he couldn't hide kept rising from the corners of his mouth. He was completely immersed in his own power. After a long while, he finally came back to his senses, looked at Yang Tian and said, "Brother Han Shui, now I hold the Imperial Seal, I only need to capture one more city to establish the Wolf Totem Empire. By then, you, Brother Hanjian, and even Lang Ling will be able to obtain Doqi and greatly enhance their strength. I believe that as long as we work together and take a city as a base, we can completely devour the Xinwu Empire. The Suanwu Empire has been destroyed, and its 45 cities have become independent cities. All city lords occupy the mountain as king. As long as you kill the city lord, you can force out the city crystal in the center of the city. As long as you blow up the crystal, you will be the city lord of that city. Of course, if you have an empire, that city also belongs to the empire." Yang Tian's eyes flickered, and he said, "Then take down this Suanwu city, we are here." Suanwu city was once the imperial capital of the Suanwu Empire. The imperial palace was built here, and Emperor Suanwu personally sat in charge. Emperor Suanwu had just become a god and achieved the throne. He had no foundation and did not have many strong men under his command. Emperor Suanwu had a total of 10 Saint Kings under his command. 2 of them had died in the decisive battle with Emperor Xinwu, leaving only 8. He had assigned the 8 Saint Kings to other cities as city lords. Suanwu city was under his personal command. He was arrogant and conceited, and he did not expect that bandits would invade so soon. For this reason, he just randomly assigned a fairy king to be the city lord of Suanwu city. And that city lord had been killed by Yang Tian's corpse explosion. Suanwu city had been completely liberated and free, and a huge crystal had emerged in the center of the city. "Hurry up, I think Emperor Xinwu and many strong men from the Xinwu Empire will be here soon," Yang Tian reminded, and everyone rushed towards the center of Suanwu city. The Xinwu Empire and the Suanwu Empire were originally allies. However, now the Suanwu Empire has been destroyed, and the 45 cities under its command, including Suanwu city, are all independent cities. The empire is destroyed, and the alliance relationship will naturally collapse. The Emperor Xinwu and others are naturally not qualified to teleport to Suanwu city, but they can teleport to the cities adjacent to Suanwu city, and then the army will attack. Everyone is about to go to war with the Xinwu Empire, this is inevitable. Yang Tian is definitely not aimless. In the center of Suanwu City, Yang Tian and others rushed over quickly, and from a distance, they really saw the huge ownerless crystal. And around the crystal, there are countless players inside and outside. The levels of each player are uneven, some are just rookies at level 30, with garbage equipment, and even some parts are empty. And some are old people above level 100, with complete equipment, at least all of gold quality. At this time, they are focusing on the crystal, hoping to blow up the crystal and achieve the position of the Lord of Suanwu City. You know, if a player becomes the city lord, the daily profits of all the major stores in the city, drug stores, weapon stores, tailor shops, etc., will be shared by the player city lord to a certain extent. That kind of profit is huge, and countless people are jealous of it. However, when everyone found that Yang Tian and others were coming, almost all the veteran players stepped aside obediently, and kept scolding the newcomers. Brother Shui is here, you guys stop quickly, don't commit suicide. Most of the newcomers understood the advice of the veterans and stepped aside. After all, they were just joining in the fun. They knew that it was wishful thinking for them to blow up the city crystal with their limited combat power of more than 30 levels. But there were still a few newcomers who did not listen to the advice and continued to attack the crystal as if they were possessed. Brother Han Shui, Brother Han Jian, Miss Xian Yuan, although we, Wolf Totem, are allied with the Xian Yuan Empire and should be equal, I now hold the imperial seal and urgently need a city to establish an empire. So I need the Suanwu city. I think you all have no objection, right? Lang Yu said with a humble smile. From the beginning to the end, his attitude was flawless. Although Yang Tian Huangmao had doubts in his heart, he could not find any handle, and felt that he had no idea where to start. But Yang Tian was not in a hurry. In his opinion, if he was a fox, he would show his tail one day. It should be, please. Yang Tian nodded. Lang Ling. Oh. Lang Yu bowed to Yang Tian and immediately called Lang Ling. The two of them turned into werewolf berserkers and rushed to the crystal. Lang Ling was just attacking the crystal. Lang Yu instantly killed the new rookies around him, and then began to attack the crystal. He was cautious enough. Although he had become a god, he could blow up the city crystal with his divine power in a few moves, but if he beat the crystal to a residual blood in one move and was finally blown up by others in one move, it would be a loss. Seeing this, Yang Tian Huangmao just frowned and didn't say much. Compared to the two of them, many veterans present just sneered. They didn't sneer at Lang Yu, but at the newcomers. They had already advised them that they were asking for death, and they deserved it. A few seconds later, Lang Yu made a final blow to blast the crystal. Afterwards, a new crystal was refreshed in the groove in the center of the city. On the top of the new crystal, the word Lang Yu was engraved. This means that this Suanwu city has been owned by Lang Yu, and he is the city lord. All NPCs in the city obey his orders. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 472. The new crystal fully bloomed and was revealed to everyone for about 3 seconds before sinking into the ground again. This Suanwu city already has an owner. Unless Lang Yu is killed, the crystal will reappear. After occupying Suanwu city, Lang Yu took out the imperial seal and established the empire. China Theater Radio, congratulations to the Wolf Totem Empire for its founding. Lang Yu is the new generation emperor, and Suanwu city is the imperial capital. The broadcast was broadcast 3 times in a row, causing an uproar throughout the Chinese war zone and everyone was shocked. Wolf Totem. Lang Yu. What's going on? Isn't it Emperor Suanwu who was hacked to death by Brother Shui? Why didn't Brother Shui establish the empire? Then what is Lang Yu? Perhaps the mantis stalked the cicada and the oriole followed. After Brother Shui killed Emperor Suanwu, Lang Yu immediately killed Brother Shui. Are you farting? It stinks. Brother Shui can kill Emperor Suanwu. What kind of terrifying strength is that? Then Lang Yu doesn't know what kind of thing he is, but he can still kill Brother Shui. Okay, everyone, stop guessing, let's go over and take a look and we'll find out. Moreover, whether it is Brother Shui or Lang Yu who establishes the empire, they will be suppressed by the Xinwu Empire. If what I expected is true, the two countries will fight about to start. Then what are you waiting for? Hurry over and take a look. The distance is too far. By the time I rush over, maybe the battle will be over. It doesn't matter. There must be a live broadcast by the big boss on the official website. It's the same for us to watch the live broadcast. In the national server, countless players were talking about it, and some wealthy players even started broadcasting to exaggerate the matter. Unintentionally, it attracted more people's attention. On the other side, Emperor Xinwu led the army, which had long been teleported to the city adjacent to Suanwu City, and now the army was on its way to Suanwu City. As the broadcast rang in the sky, Emperor Xinwu and many of his powerful men were startled. Wolf Totem. I remember that such an empire did exist before, and this empire was destroyed by Emperor Suanwu. Huh? I understand everything. Then Lang Yu must be the only royal descendant who survived when the wolf totem destroyed the country. Now, Muddy Waters should have colluded with him, Emperor Xinwu said excitedly, and suddenly he figured out a lot of things. Your Majesty, don't panic. No matter Lang Yu or Muddy Waters, they have no background. Besides, with the help of the two of us, we can definitely take down Lang Yu and Muddy Waters, Xing said slowly. Well, of course I understand this. Emperor Xinwu nodded, looked at Long Yan and said, Warden Long Yan, I will help you hold Lang Yu back when the time comes. Then, he looked at Xing and said, Your Excellency, Warden, you and I will join hands and kill Muddy Waters as quickly as possible. Hearing this, both Xing and Long Yan nodded. Obviously, in the eyes of the three of them, Yang Tian is a far greater threat than Lang Yu. Because they knew that Yang Tian already had the ability to kill gods before he achieved the status of a god. If they did not get rid of him as soon as possible, they would not be able to live in peace even in their dreams in the future. The center of Suanwu City. Lang Yu occupied a city, established the Wolf Totem Empire, and achieved the throne. Currently, the Wolf Totem is in alliance with the Xianyuan Empire. The Wolf Totem is established, and the Xianyuan Empire has also benefited from it. As an alliance member, sharing resources, Xianyuan longer naturally has some power. System, congratulations on obtaining the rank of Lieutenant General in the Shenlong Empire, i.e. Xianyuan Empire, and receiving the Lieutenant General medal. As the system prompts sounded in his ears, Lang Yu promoted Lang Ling to Lieutenant General Wolf Totem, and Xianyuan longer promoted Yang Tian Huangmao to Lieutenant General Shenlong Empire. Lieutenant General medal, special item. No level limit. Physical strength add 15,000. Strength add 1,500. Intelligence add 1,500. Spirit add 1,500. Additional skills, LV5 Fighting Spirit. At present, the three Yang Tians are already strong Saint Kings. To them, the attributes increased by the rank of Lieutenant General are not worth mentioning. But the LV5 Fighting Spirit is very terrifying, with 6 times the damage, 6 times the damage reduction, and the overall strength has skyrocketed, which is completely different from before. Especially Yang Tian, he has the heart of the sacred tree, and his fighting spirit, or his fighting spirit transformed into wings, can last forever, and there is no mana consumption at all. From then on, no one was his opponent in the war of attrition. Huang Mao, don't be too happy. After all, the Xianyuan Empire is not worthy of its name. If Lang Yu cancels the alliance with the Xianyuan Empire, in the blink of an eye, we will lose our military rank and our fighting spirit. Huang Mao saw a picture of self-confidence. With such an explosive look, Yang Tian frowned and couldn't help but send a message to attack. Yes, I understand. But it doesn't matter. I believe you can crush Lang Yu even if you don't have fighting spirit, Huang Mao said with a smile, and of course it was also a voice, which could not be noticed by outsiders. Brother Shui. Suddenly, countless strong men came to Suanweo City. The streets in all directions of Suanweo City were crowded with dark figures. They shouted loudly, and their sound was like rolling thunder, almost tearing the sky apart. Adding all these people together, I'm afraid there are more than 1 million people. Looking around, there are dark crowds of people in all directions, and the momentum is turbulent. By now, I am afraid that everyone in the entire Chinese war zone already knows that Yang Tian is about to go to war with the Xinwu Empire. Some people just come to watch the show. Some people are willing to fight for Yang Tian, and many of these people were former members of the Water Alliance. At this time, when they saw Yang Tian again, they couldn't help but burst into tears. At that time, Yang Tian had disappeared for more than 3 months, so that the Water Alliance was suppressed by Zeus and the Four-Nation Coalition Army, and fell into an 18th-tier small force. They also resented Yang Tian and directly withdrew from the Water Alliance. After all, Yang Tian was the leader of the alliance, but he did not fulfill his responsibilities as the leader. Now that Yang Tian has returned and wants to go to war with the Xinwu Empire, this is obviously the beginning of revenge, to vindicate the Water Alliance and everyone in the Water Alliance. And Yang Tian's intention was fully conveyed to everyone, which moved them. As for the ones who rushed to the front, they were Xiao Fei, Long Lu, Qin Yu, Shuangrou, Hao Tian, and other members of the Water Alliance. This, Brother Han Shui, I didn't expect your connections to reach such a level. Perhaps you are more like an emperor than me. The crowds of people around him were crowded, and the cheers were deafening. This scene in front of him made Lang Yu amazed. In fact, he didn't know that Yang Tian's popularity almost covered the entire Chinese war zone. Now that the war with the Xinwu Empire has begun, almost all the players who came to watch and help cheer are from the Xinwu Empire. Players from other empires cannot come at all because they are too far away. Otherwise, the Suanweo city would be crowded with people in an instant. Of course, Yang Tian is so popular because it is a version of the World War. Everyone is Chinese, so naturally everyone hopes that Yang Tian will win glory for the Chinese theater. Under this environment, countless people have become his fans. If the Devil's right hand, Mo Su and Xiefeng are willing to show up, they can also gain a large number of fans and supporters. As for God's left hand and Zeus, it is not possible yet. Their strength and cards are not enough. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 473. At this time, even Yang Tian didn't know. On the official forum, there are several live broadcast rooms that are simultaneously broadcasting everything that will happen between him and Suanweo City. The combined number of these live broadcast rooms has exceeded 100 million, and even attracted some overseas viewers. The screen is full of 666 barrage orders. People are amazed. You are here too. Seeing Xiao Fi, Long Lu and others coming over, Yang Tian greeted them. Everyone in the Water Alliance is excited. In this environment, they can fully feel Yang Tian's power and reputation. Nan Bassian's face flushed with excitement. As Yang Tian's NC fan, he was most happy to see this kind of scene. Brother Shui, according to reliable information, Emperor Xinwu led an army from the north gate of Suanweo City and will probably arrive soon, Xiao Fei said. As the chief assassin of the Water League, he has made many assassin player friends and is very good at gathering intelligence. Well, when the battle comes, you will be responsible for the enemies below the Spirit King, and try not to lose level, Yang Tian said. Yeah, everyone in the Water League nodded. Wow, Brother Shui is so manly and protective of his calf. I like it. 666. Nasai, after this war is over, I must find a way to join the Water Alliance. In the live broadcast room, the barrage went crazy, and countless passers-by were attracted by Yang Tian's charisma. Longer at this time, Yang Tian called softly. Xian Yuan Longer nodded in understanding and used his power to promote Xiaofei, Long Lu, Qin Yu, Shuangro, Haoshan, and others to marshals of the Shenlong Empire. The emperor has the right to promote up to 10 lieutenant generals, 100 major generals, and 1,000 colonels. There is no limit on the number of places for lower military ranks. For a time, all the 2,000 to 3,000 people in the Water Alliance obtained at least the rank of lieutenant colonel, gained fighting spirit, and their strength skyrocketed. Who is Taki-er? The anchor wants a perspective. You don't even know Xian Yuan Long-er? That is an NPC servant that Brother Shui collected in the early days. His true identity is the only royal descendant of the Xian Yuan Empire. Damn it, is Brother Shui so awesome? A future emperor-level figure, Brother Shui just accepts it when he says it? Yes, Brother Shui has always been so awesome. I heard that Xian Yuan Longer is very powerful and very beautiful. She has long burgundy shawl hair, same colored pupils, heroic eyebrows, and a proud figure. I won't talk about it anymore. I'm afraid I'll lose nutrients. 666, the anchor will give you a shot of Xian Yuan Longer at your speed. Anchor, hurry up and get the camera for Longer. Anchor, I know you are an assassin and can sneak. But I can tell you that Brother Shui has the eye of truth and can see through all invisible and disguised targets. If you go over and give Xian Yuan Longer the lens now, you will definitely die, but for us to be here brother, you will die without regrets. Hurry up, go and give the camera, I will definitely give you a reward. 666. Wow, so delicious. Cute. Miss you. Damn it, why is the screen black? Is the anchor hanging up? 66,666. In one of the most popular live broadcast rooms on the official website, the barrage went crazy. That anchor is probably just a new anchor, and he has such high popularity solely because of the talent. When he heard that a rich man wanted to reward him, he was willing to go all out. Taking advantage of his profession as an assassin and his ability to sneak, he actually walked over and secretly photographed Xian Yuan Longer face to face. Yang Tian had the eye of truth, so he could naturally see him. He couldn't stand the wretched appearance, so he kicked him to death. Immediately, the live broadcast room went black, attracting many dissatisfied comments. Stop, silly anchor B, you dare to secretly take photos of me in front of my face, you don't regard me, Brother Shui, as a human being. Go away, everyone go to other live broadcast rooms. The rhythm of countless barrages made the anchor cry without tears. He couldn't help complaining, you guys were the ones who wanted to take the shots of Mahler Gobe. Now that I'm dead, you're going to blame me. Brother, who of you is the priest and who is here? Give me a resurrection spell. I'm paralyzed. Among the other anchors, who is as brave as me and who can risk it all? Brothers, don't leave. By the way, where's the reward? Where's the promised reward? On site. This person is probably an anchor. He is secretly filming and diverting traffic. It's very annoying. Xiao Fei kicked the anchor's body and said, what's even more annoying is that Brother Shui, you kill one, and there are countless other anchors, all mixed in the crowd. Middle. Well, I just went to watch the live broadcast room on the official website. Now many anchors are broadcasting live to us. This is very annoying. I don't want to expose my handsome face, Jin Yu said with a melancholy look. Go to hell. Immediately afterwards, he was slapped in the face by the crowd. Brother Shui, and all the bosses, please give me a resurrection technique. I promise not to take secret photos. I promise to take photos of your most handsome sides. Bosses, take pictures of others, and take pictures of me too. Here you go. Give me a way to survive, give me a job. My live broadcast room is almost losing popularity, there were tens of millions of people watching before. Although the anchor was already a corpse, he still posted words to Yang Tian and others on the public channel requested. Get out. How shameless you are, Xiao Filong, Lu Kanyu, and others were immediately dissatisfied. They all kicked the man in the face and whipped the corpse mercilessly. Haha, funny anchor, so shameless. That anchor was played to death by us before. We asked him to take secret photos, but he actually took secret photos. He was so courageous. I laughed my ass off. Carry it away, next one. Many live broadcast rooms are still live broadcasting simultaneously. The most popular live broadcast room before, as the anchor hung up, had a black screen. Tens of millions of viewers left and went to new live broadcast rooms, and a new barrage rhythm began. At the scene, Yang Tian, Huang Mao Xiaofei and others, Lang Yu Lang Ling and others, and millions of passers-by were waiting. Many live broadcast rooms, hundreds of millions of viewers, including many overseas viewers, were also waiting. Finally. Roar. As the thunderous war roar sounded, everyone looked up and saw countless soldiers in the direction of the north gate, wearing armor and riding horses, galloping, pulling out a majestic wave behind them, with a terrifying momentum. Even in the air in the direction of the north gate, there were hundreds of thousands of people, with 3-color, 6-color, and 9-color treasure lights lingering around them, flying in the air. They are the most terrifying, able to fly in the air, at least at the level of Spirit King or above. Such a strong man, there are thousands of people at the same time, which shows that the Emperor of Xinwu is almost moving out of his nest this time, with a sense of not giving up until he achieves his goal. Wow, what a scene, isn't it so spectacular? There are thousands of strong men above the Spirit King level, so scary. This is a small scene. In future world wars, the strong men from various war zones will fight in groups, and it is estimated that all of them will be air battles. Spirit Kings. They are probably as numerous as stray dogs on the roadside. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 474. To be honest, I'm really worried that Brother Shui won't be able to cope with it. The enemy force is too strong. Although Brother Shui has millions of troops on his side, how many of them are strong men above the Spirit King? I'm afraid I can count them on one hand. Come here, what's more important is that most of them are here to watch the show, and they don't really want to help Brother Shui. Damn it, there are hundreds of millions of people in our live broadcast room. If we all rush over, we can help Brother Shui to level the Xinwu Empire in an instant. It's a pity that none of us are Xinwu Empire players. The distance is too far. By the time we get there, we will probably be all day lilies. It's cold. Well, now we can only see how Brother Shui performs. In many live broadcast rooms, barrages were flying, and everyone was paying attention to the development of the situation. At the same time, the power of the Xinwu Empire really made everyone sweat for Yang Tian. A few minutes later, Emperor Xinwu arrived with a large army, and the two armies faced each other. Emperor Xinwu stood proudly in the air. He lowered his eyes and glanced. He immediately spotted Xian Yuan Longer and was shocked. Xian Yuan Longer? How is this possible? As far as I know, you should be dead, your bones are already cold, Emperor Xinwu asked in a cold voice, somewhat lost his composure. At the moment, muddy waters and Lang Yu are difficult enough to deal with. Unexpectedly, Xian Yuan Longer actually came back to life. This immediately made him and the entire Xinwu Empire tremble. How can I be willing to die before I kill you to take revenge? Now that I am standing here, the sky has eyes. Xian Yuan Longer stared at Emperor Xinwu coldly and said with hatred. Although her last death was caused by Zeus and the allied forces of the four nations, what she hated most was Emperor Shenwu. Because Emperor Shenwu destroyed the Xianyuan Empire and Dragon Valley, she almost lost everything. Hearing this, Emperor Shenwu's eyes twitched crazily, and he stared at Xianyuan longer carefully for 3 seconds. His serious face gradually relaxed, and he even smiled and said, "Ha, stop pretending, I will know at a glance that you have indeed died, but you were just confused. The water has revived you again. But now that you are back from the dead, you no longer have the blood of the dragon, you are no longer in my sight. Yes, some time ago, Zeus and the four-nation coalition jointly suppressed the Water Alliance. That incident made a big fuss. Xianyuan Longer should have died at that time." "Nonsense, didn't you hear? Emperor Shenwu said that Brother Shui resurrected Xianyuan Longer. His Brother Shui can even resurrect dead NPCs? What kind of method is this?" 6. For Brother Shui, this is just a basic operation, don't do it. Many viewers in the live broadcast room were once again surprised. At this time, Yang Tian stared at Emperor Shenwu, Xing, Long Yan, and other super strong men. Among those people, Yang Tian suddenly found a figure that he was very unwilling to face. It is Master Mo Fan's old lover, now also the master of the Undead, the 200-level Holy King Melee. At this time, Mo Li also looked at Yang Tian in the crowd, with a hint of helplessness and vicissitudes of life passing through his cold pupils. In her opinion, Yang Tian is the successor of Mo Fan. She does not want Yang Tian to be in any danger anyway, and she is even less willing to antagonize him on the battlefield. However, after all, she was from the Shenwu Empire, and Yang Tian was a traitor, so she had to stand on the side of her own empire. Call out. Yang Tian put one foot on the ground, jumped into the air, and took out a crystal ball in front of Moli and everyone on the enemy side. This crystal ball was specially made by Moli and given to him early to save his life. As long as the crystal ball is crushed, a teleportation array will appear. Immediately, Moli will sense it and teleport over instantly to help Yang Tian solve the danger at hand. Yang Tian got this crystal ball 2 years ago. At that time, he was not very powerful and there were times when he was in danger, but he was reluctant to use it and has kept it until now. But now that he is already a strong Saint King and has the strength to kill gods, he doesn't need Mo Li's help at all. In fact, he is confident that his strength now far exceeds that of Mo Li. Bang! Yang Tian put a little force on his palm, and the crystal ball shattered, scattering a piece of crystal clear material. At the same time, a teleportation array lit up around Yang Tian. Seeing the scene in front of him and seeing Yang Tian and Mo Li looking at each other, Emperor Shenwu was suddenly a little surprised and asked, "This, President Mo Li, what is going on?" Mo Li shook his head, stared at Yang Tian and said, "That crystal ball was indeed given to you by me, and I did promise to help you once. However, the battle that is about to begin now involves 2 empires. I cannot betray my empire." Hearing this, Emperor Shenwu smiled. This Mo Li is the president of the Necromancer Guild. Although he is from the Shenwu Empire, he has no military rank and is not a general in the army. Even Emperor Shenwu was not qualified to order her. At most, he could only request. Unexpectedly, Moli was so sincere to the empire, which immediately made Emperor Shenwu admire her. "No, I don't need you to help me this time." Yang Tian shook his head and said, "I just hope that you can leave this battlefield. You are the only bond that Master Mo Fan has during his lifetime. I can never kill you." Mo Li was startled. Seeing her silence, Emperor Shenwu hurriedly said, "President Moli, you must calm down. You must not be easily deceived by this traitor." Emperor Shenwu was quite anxious. Although this Moli is only a strong Saint King, he is a necromancer and the lord of the undead. His true strength is completely different from that of an ordinary Saint King. Mo Li, One person is as powerful as thousands of troops. Now the two armies are about to go to war, and Emperor Shinryu definitely does not want Emily to stop. Okay. Since you have crushed the crystal ball, and this request is not excessive, I really don't want to kill you personally, I will agree to you. Emily nodded, which immediately made Yang Tian feel relieved. However, Emperor Shinryu was a little uneasy. President Emily, alas, you are too impulsive. Emperor Shinryu sighed. Your Majesty. Emily bowed slightly and said, I have a deep connection with Han Shui, and I really don't want to fight him. Moreover, our country is powerful, and there are your Majesty, the two wardens Xing and Long Yan who are personally on the scene. Han Shui, they have no chance of winning. Your Majesty, don't worry, from now on, my relationship with Han Shui ends here. Even if your Majesty wants to kill Han Shui, I will not say a word, and I will never help him. You. Emperor Shinryu wanted to say something, but Emily had already turned around and fled. She didn't leave completely, but just left the battlefield. In this war, one side was Yang Tian, who had a close relationship with her, and the other side was the empire she belonged to. No matter what, she wanted to witness it to the end with her own eyes. Of course, she kept her word and would never take action in this war. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 475. Who is that woman? Emily, the president of the Necromancer Guild of the Shinryu Empire, a 200-level Saint King. Oh, the president of the Necromancer Guild? Brother Shui is also a necromancer, so Emily is Brother Shui's mentor? No wonder Brother Shui doesn't want to do anything to her. No, didn't you hear? Brother Shui's mentor should be Master Mo Fan, and Emily is probably Master Mo Fan's old lover and old friend. In short, Brother Shui is very righteous and has done his best for Moli, but that old woman Emily is a bit arrogant. She actually said that she didn't want to kill Brother Shui with her own hands, saying Brother Shui has no chance of winning. She probably doesn't know Brother Shui's strength at all. That's right. Brother Shui said he didn't want to kill her, which means he really didn't want to kill her. After all, Brother Shui's strength is here. But she also said she didn't want to kill Brother Shui, which is very stupid. Who does she think she is? Can't she understand the situation at all? I hope Brother Shui will make a lightning move and beat up Emperor Shinryu, shock her, and let her deeply understand that she is not Brother Shui's opponent at all. Let her apologize. Yes, I hope Brother Shui will slap her in the face. The scene in front of them made the audience in many live broadcast rooms extremely excited, and they began to brush the barrage and despise Emily. In their view, Yang Tian killed Emperor Suanwu, and he already had the strength to kill gods, so Yang Tian's opponent should only be gods. And Emily, a mere saint king, where did she get the courage to say that she didn't want to kill Yang Tian personally? At this time, they urgently hoped that Yang Tian would show his strength, slap Emily in the face, shock her, and let her not be so arrogant. On the scene, looking at the gloomy face of Emperor Shinryu, Xing smiled and comforted him. Your Majesty, why do you care so much about a mere saint king? From the surface, our strength and power are far superior to the other side, and we are already sure to win. If she leaves, let her go. Sir, the warden, of course I understand this. But as the king of a country, she openly rejected me, which is really too disrespectful and really doesn't take me seriously, Emperor Shinryu said coldly. Haha, Your Majesty, you can deal with her after the battle. But for now, we still have to deal with Lang Yu and Han Shui first. Xing smiled. Well, Emperor Shinryu nodded in a deep voice, and at the same time waved his hand. Kill them. Hearing this, the 100,000 soldiers below roared and galloped towards Yang Tian and others. Wherever they passed, smoke and dust rolled, and the momentum was huge. At the same time, in the sky, behind Emperor Shenwu, Xing, and Long Yan, thousands of generals above the level of Spirit King simultaneously focused their fire from a distance, igniting countless sword lights and magic arrows, like a violent storm, intensively sweeping towards Yang Tian and the army behind him. The army behind Yang Tian reached 1,000,000. However, seeing the scene in front of them, most people took a breath and retreated quickly to avoid being affected by the war and losing a level in vain. Although Yang Tian had 1,000,000 troops on the scene, 99% of them were just here to watch the show. Although they also admired Yang Tian, they were not ready to fight for him. After all, they were all strong men above level 180. At this stage, they needed to brush for a week or two every time they leveled up. It would be very uncomfortable if they died in battle and lost a level. After the army retreated, Yang Tian's side, including the 2,000 or 3,000 people of the Water Alliance, was only more than 10,000 people. And among these more than 10,000 people, most of them were former members of the Water Alliance. They are all afraid of death. They are all cowards. Among the millions of troops, only about 10,000 are willing to help Brother Shui. This is really too much of a jerk. That's right, they just want to watch the live broadcast. Damn it, too much of a jerk, those bastards are simply embarrassing us players. God bless my Brother Shui. Seeing that most of the millions of passers-by were unwilling to help, the audience in many live broadcast rooms were filled with anger, cursing and spraying. At the same time, they began to worry about Yang Tian. At this time, Yang Tian stretched out his hand and waved, condensing a huge bone wall in the air between the two armies. Strong men above the Spirit King can not only fly in the air, but also release all their skills in the air, and the bone wall can also be released in the air. Yang Tian is a Saint King, so it is no problem to condense a bone wall in the air. Bang 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 dash. Countless swords and shadows, magic arrows swept across, and in the blink of an eye, they crushed the bone wall that had just appeared. But at the same time, most of the opponent's skills have been blocked by the bone wall. After all, Yang Tian's bone wall has a life thickness of 500 billion, which is no joke. The opponent only has a few skills left, and because the bone wall is not there, it will directly sweep towards Yang Tian and others. Iron Wall. Long Lu is the chief shield warrior of the Water Alliance. At this time, he led a group of shield warriors and rushed forward, releasing the iron wall to magnify the giant shield in his hand n times, and the iron walls were arranged one after another, forming a cold iron wall network to protect everyone. Bang bang bang. As the opponent's sporadic skills hit the iron wall, several white lights flashed in an instant, and about 5 shield warriors were killed instantly. Although Yang Tian's bone wall resisted most of the opponent's firepower, the opponent only had a few skills left in this wave. But those few skills were all released by the Spirit King, even the Immortal King and the Saint King, and the combat power was off the charts. Among the many shield warriors, only Long Lu has the blood of the Iron Dragon and is a Spirit King, so he can barely resist. The rest, even if they are shield warriors, can't resist and can only be killed instantly. This is the extreme gap brought by the realm. In this wave, Yang Tian lost 5 shield warriors and finally resisted the opponent's fierce attack. Even after the 5 shield warriors died, their level was -1, and they were resurrected on the spot to pick up the dropped equipment and join the battlefield again. Almost everyone in the Water Alliance followed Yang Tian to join the Xianyuan Empire. And now the Xianyuan Empire and the Wolf Totem Alliance, this Suanwu city is also their territory, so they can naturally teleport and resurrect at will. Kill, Yang Tian roared. Yang Tian, Huangmao Xianyuan Long Langyu Langliang, a total of 5 people, took off into the air and rushed towards the Xinwu Emperor and others in the sky. Below, Xiaofei, Long Lu, Qin Yu, Shuangro, Hao Tian and others led an army of 10,000 to face the enemy's 100,000 soldiers. For a time, the entire battlefield was divided into air battles and land battles. But whether it was air battles or land battles, Yang Tian's side had a huge disadvantage in terms of numbers. Below, Xiao Fei and others had 10,000 to deal with a 100,000 strong army. Above, Yang Tian and his 5 men faced 3 gods and thousands of powerful people above the level of Spirit King. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 476. Alas, compared to the Xinwu Emperor and the Xinwu Empire, Brother Shui's power is still too small. Yes, Brother Shui is afraid of being defeated in this battle. Damn it, those millions of viewers are really damned. Brother Shui and his team are in trouble, but they are still indifferent. The scene in front of them made countless viewers watching the live broadcast sigh secretly, feeling very sorry. After all, Yang Tian's power is too small, and the forces of both sides are completely unequal. Anyone with a discerning eye can see who is better and who is worse. At the same time, they also secretly hated, and frantically brushed the barrage to scold the millions of viewers at the scene for not doing anything. No, everyone, look carefully, Brother Shui and his team are not at a disadvantage. At this time, a host shouted loudly, which startled the audience. Immediately, they stared at the screen carefully, gasped, and were dumbfounded. On the battlefield below, the Shuimeng army faced 100,000 soldiers, but they were not at a disadvantage. Even those who rushed to the front swept through the enemy soldiers, killing thousands of enemies in just a few seconds. And the Water Alliance army, the ones who rushed to the front were Xiao Fei, Long Lu, Qin Yu, Shuangrou, Hao Tian, and others. You know, they are all powerful spirit kings. And the 100,000 soldiers of the other side are all lords of more than 190 levels. Xiao Fei is the chief assassin of the Water Alliance. He shuttles among the enemy generals like a dragon, with green fighting spirit lingering around him, and the dagger in his hand dances wildly. Wherever he passes, blood gushes out, leaving only corpses. Xiao Fei's talent is extremely outstanding, which Yang Tian had expected a long time ago. In terms of operation, awareness, and positioning, Yang Tian and Huangmao Xiao Fei are almost at the same level. 2 years ago, Yang Tian might have crushed them with technology because of his experience of rebirth. But now, as their game experience deepens, Yang Tian can hardly do it. And now, the reason why Yang Tian Huangmao walked in front of him was entirely because he only had one spiritual essence now. And Yang Tian Huangmao, one has the blood of a divine dragon, and the other has the blood of a holy dragon. If the realms were equal, Xiao Fei could definitely stand beside Yang Tian and become Yang Tian's most capable warrior. Xiao Fei is an assassin, and Yang Tian was also an assassin in his previous life. Yang Tian has an inexplicable preference for him and has long intended to train him to be the strongest assassin. If Huang Mao is Yang Tian's best brother, then Xiao Fei is Yang Tian's most promising younger brother. Xiao Fei is an assassin after all. Although his combat power is high, his attack range is insufficient and his killing efficiency is not enough. Compared to him, Qin Yu is even more terrifying. Gravity. Qin Yu waved his hand casually, and a vortex airflow with a range of 100 yards appeared in front of him. That vortex airflow had a strong gravitational force, causing countless enemy soldiers to be pulled by the gravity, screaming and moving towards the center, unable to move. Gravity slows down enemies in the range and generates gravity, pulling them toward the center. If the enemy stands still, he will be pulled to the center of the vortex. Even if the enemy moves, it is difficult to escape the range of gravity because of the slowdown and the pull of gravity. Obviously, gravity is a very terrible skill. Moreover, Qin Yu is a spirit king, and gravity has also been advanced. Yes, he can even use gravity in the air. It's a pity that such a perverted skill only lasts for 3 seconds. But now, Qin Yu is dealing with some lords and soldiers, and 3 seconds is more than enough. Explosive fire technique. Earth thrust. Ice break. After gravity trapped countless soldiers, the two mages, Qin Yu and Zhuangro, instantly activated their blue fighting spirit and released magic skills, killing a large area in 1 second. Beside Qin Yu and Zhuangro, there was also Long Lu, a shield warrior, protecting them closely. It would be difficult for the other side to focus their fire on them. Because of this, even though the Water Alliance army was at a disadvantage in terms of numbers, it was actually at an advantage in terms of the battle situation. If the battle continued like this, the Xinyu Empire army would definitely be defeated first. Brother Shui has so many powerful masters under his command. That assassin named Repent is too abnormal. His moves are so cool. He is like a dragon. Killing is an art. Look, how many times did he dodge the opponent's skills? My scalp is numb, brother. Indeed, he is just at a low level. Otherwise, even the top assassins such as Shen Yu and God's Apple are probably not his opponents. And that Qin Yu is also a pervert. He can kill dozens or hundreds of opponents with just one skill. In such a short time, the army of the Xinyu Empire is afraid that 20,000 to 30,000 people have died. I dare say that more than half of them were killed by Qin Yu. The DPS is off the charts. And Long Lu, the defense guard the hardness is so high that it is terrifying. It is completely a super tank. Look, how many times have the opponent focused on him to kill Qin Yu and the beautiful girl named Zhuangro in seconds. He just can't be beaten. Damn, standing behind him is too safe, that's a real shield warrior. 666, terrible, really terrible. In fact, you don't know that Brother Shui and his men are all from the Xianyuan Empire, and the Xianyuan Empire has not been established, and it is not worthy of its name. They have never had fighting spirit. But even so, they have still reached this level today, which shows that each of them is not a fuel-saving lamp. Now that they have obtained fighting spirit, it is naturally incomparable. Yes, it's too scary. Brother Shui and Shui Meng are really worthy of being the face of our Chinese theater. What else can I say? Everyone stand up. 6 is right. With the wonderful performances of Xiao Filong, Qin Yu, Zhuangro, Haoshan, and others, many live broadcast rooms immediately attracted a lot of applause. Even they themselves didn't know that they had attracted a large number of fans invisibly. Especially Xiao Filong, Qin Yu, and the other three, who had many supporters, represented the Water Alliance and formed a new card. Roar! 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 At the same time, there was a riot on the battlefield in the sky. When Yang Tian waved his hand, he summoned 5 huge bone dragons, covering the sky and the sun, and burst out with vicissitudes of ancient roars. The white skeleton, with a dark aura all over the body, looked extremely terrifying and creepy. Of course, the dark aura on those bone dragons was the special effect produced by Yang Tian's attribute blessing. Dark power, armor penetration, critical damage. After Yang Tian's blessing of these attributes, the 5 bone dragons, each of them, far exceeded the Saint King in terms of combat power. The fight has started up there. What are you doing, Anchor? Hurry up and show us the camera. Quickly show us the camera. You rubbish Anchor, can't you tell the difference between the important and the unimportant? The fight down there is exciting. Qin Yu, Long Lu and the others are strong, but they can't be compared to Brother Shui and the aerial battle up there. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 477. Yes. The battlefield in the sky is the key to the victory or defeat of this great battle. The rhythm of the bullet screen of tens of millions of viewers made the anchors lose their composure instantly, and they quickly turned the camera to the battlefield in the sky. Next, the audience of many live broadcast rooms with a total of more than 100 million people saw a scene that they would never forget in their lives. Dark blue flames. The 5 bone dragons opened and closed their mouths, and each of them sprayed out a dark blue flame. The range of the dark blue flame was extremely large, almost covering all the strong men above the spirit king of the enemy, including the Emperor Shenwu, Xing, and Long Yan. The flames all over the sky rushed in their faces, and the large range almost blocked all their retreat routes, making them unable to escape even if they wanted to, and they immediately broke out in cold sweat. Tisk. The 3 gods of the Emperor Shenwu, self-confident of their powerful strength, snorted coldly, and calmly opened their fighting spirit. At the same time, thousands of strong men in the back followed suit and opened their fighting spirit in seconds. There are various kinds of fighting spirit, which are wonderful. There are purple full level fighting spirit, blue level 6 fighting spirit, and cyan level 5 fighting spirit, each of which is different. The fighting spirit of players mainly comes from the imperial military rank. Majors start fighting spirit, lieutenant colonels have level 2 fighting spirit, colonels have level 3 fighting spirit, major generals have level 4, lieutenant generals have level 5, generals have level 6, and marshals have level 7. Unlike players, NPCs must practice their fighting spirit by themselves. For NPCs, the higher the fighting spirit level, the higher the talent. Boom. 5 dark blue flames whizzed past, burning the sky and boiling the sea. In an instant, thousands of huge damages appeared continuously above the sky. Immediately, hundreds of charred corpses, a large number of equipment, coins, and materials burst out, and fell from the dark blue flames. You must know that each bone dragon, under the blessing of the Yangtian attribute, fights far beyond the general Holy King. Using the dark blue flame, the combat power is as high as more than 100 billion. 5 bone dragons, 5 dark blue flames simultaneously focused their fire, and their combat power was at least 500 billion. However, the NPC Spirit King of level 200 only had 20 to 30 billion lives. Even with fighting spirit to protect his body, he was instantly blasted into charcoal by the 5 dark blue flames and fell into a corpse. In fact, 90% of the thousands of Spirit Kings and above in the Shenwu Empire were only Spirit Kings. When the dark blue flames dissipated, there were only about 100 of the thousands of strong men in the Shenwu Empire. In addition to the Shenwu Emperor, Xing, and Long Yan, there were a dozen Saint Kings, and the remaining 80 to 90 were Immortal Kings. Now, these Immortal Kings, under the fierce attack of the Bone Dragon, have all become residual blood, with only 1/3 of the blood bar left. As for the Spirit Kings of the Shenwu Empire, they all fell, leaving no one behind. At the same time, countless blood balls swept out and entered Yang Tian's body, forming a scarlet shield on his body surface. Shield strength, 6 trillion. Yang Tian summoned the Bone Dragon. Although this wave killed hundreds of thousands of people, those people were all strong men with fighting spirit. Because of this, the damage caused by the Bone Dragon to them was not as high as imagined, and the shield transformed by blood sucking was naturally average. Wow, what kind of undead is that? Bone Dragon? Holy beast level undead, Brother Shui can easily summon 5. Bone Dragons are too terrifying. 5 Bone Dragons joined forces to attack and actually killed thousands of the opponent's Spirit Kings. Brother Shui is still strong. He was at a huge disadvantage before, but he tied the game in an instant. Draw. Brother, you must have cataracts. Brother Shui easily killed thousands of the opponent's Spirit Kings and beat hundreds of Immortal Kings to residual blood. Now you tell me it's a draw. That's right, Brother Shui is obviously at an advantage. Don't you understand the situation? For a while, the barrage in many live broadcast rooms was soaring, and countless viewers were shocked by Yang Tian's strength. Not only the audience in the live broadcast room, but also the millions of audiences on the scene were all stunned, standing there like fools. Outside the battle circle in the sky, Emily stood alone on the roof of a tall building. At this time, looking at Yang Tian's figure, some inexplicable emotions flashed in her cold pupils. He has really grown up, old man. If you know it in the afterlife, I'm afraid you will also feel relieved. Emily sighed secretly, and his cold eyes were still fixed on the battlefield, not wanting to miss the details of the mission. Ah, muddy water, you killed thousands of my generals and destroyed the foundation of my empire. You deserve to die. The Xinwu Emperor is a god-level strongman, and he has purple fighting spirit. The previous 5 bone dragons concentrated their fire and attacked, but only made him lose less than 1% of his blood, which was not painful at all. However, thousands of spirit kings all fell, which immediately made him furious and heartbroken to the point of being unable to breathe. You know, such a large empire cannot be managed by just the Xinwu Emperor. It is impossible that if someone makes trouble, he, the Emperor of Xinwu, will personally take action. Then where is His Majesty as an emperor? And every powerful spirit king can be entrusted with important tasks by him and govern an area. Each one is a treasure, and one less will die. And Yang Tian killed almost all the powerful spirit kings under his command in an instant, almost destroying the foundation of his Xinwu Empire. How can he not be angry? How can he not feel heartbroken? Your Majesty, adventurers like Han Shui seem to be protected by the laws of heaven and earth. No matter how many times they are killed, they can be resurrected. But he is guilty of heinous crimes. If we kill him once, he will be imprisoned in a big prison and sentenced to life imprisonment. At that time, your Majesty can kill him thousands of times to relieve the hatred in your heart. Seeing sneered. Wow, everyone, look, the old man Xinwudi's expression of twitching mouth is really amazing. It's so cool, my dad is laughing to death. Brother Shui continues to kill their people. Let's see what kind of expression he can make. The audience in many live broadcast rooms looked at the twitching expression of Xinwudi through the screen and laughed out loud. At the same time, some barrage rhythms began. After a while, Xinwudi finally stabilized his mind and stared at Yang Tian's eyes, which were extremely scarlet and murderous. If eyes could kill, perhaps Yang Tian would have been cut into pieces. Deputy Warden Long Yan, please help me stop that Lang Yu, the warden, and I will kill Han Shui first. Xinwudi bowed to Long Yan and said. You must know that he holds the dragon-slaying sword, which has a fatal killing power against the dragon clan and those with dragon blood, that is, 10 times the damage. If seeing helps, he is confident that he can kill Yang Tian quickly. After that, he, seeing, and Long Yan will join forces and believe that Lang Yu can be killed quickly. By then, the Wolf Totem Empire will be destroyed, and his Xinwu Empire army will win. In fact, it is very simple. He had expected this a long time ago. It was a battle plan set before he, Xing, and Long Yan came. The only thing he regrets now is that he should not have sent out the entire army and brought those generals at the level of spirit kings. At this moment, he was wailing in his heart, secretly sighing that he still underestimated the terrifying combat power of the high-level Necromancer. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 478. Your Majesty, rest assured. I will personally take action, and that Lang Yu will definitely be unable to resist. Long Yan nodded, with a proud look on his face. Afterwards, he was seen bending his legs slightly and pressing the void with one hand. Roar. As the roar of a giant dragon sounded, a green dragon emerged from under his feet. He sat down and rode steadily on the neck of the green dragon. The green dragon is also a dinosaur fantasy species, about 3 meters high and 5 meters long, shaped like a dinosaur, with short forelimbs, thick and slender hind limbs, and huge wings on its back. The whole body, including the dragon head, dragon body, dragon wings, and dragon tail, is green. Even its pair of dragon eyes are green, crystal clear, like 2 green gems. The green dragon is different from ordinary dinosaurs. Although it has a powerful body, it is a magic dragon itself, and it relies more on its own magic power. The green dragon was surrounded by 9 color gems, and it was obviously a holy beast, with a level of 200. When Long Yan rode on the green dragon, his Dragon Knight talent dragon riding was automatically triggered, and all attributes were increased by 30%. Huang Mao looked at the scene in front of him, and his teeth were itching with hatred. They were both Dragon Knights, but Long Yan was obviously more qualified than him. His only dragon beast was just the weapon soul of the Bingpo sword, and now his Bingpo sword was lost, and he didn't even have a dragon pet. He was obviously a dragon knight, but he was just a flower stand, no different from an ordinary knight. And Long Yan, who had a god-level dragon pet Iron Backthorn dragon killed by Yang Tian before, now summoned a green dragon again, which was really enviable. Xiao Tian, that green dragon seems to be a female. If a dragon egg explodes later, it will belong to me, Huang Mao shouted, but at this point, he was thinking about this. No problem, Yang Tian smiled and nodded. Roar. When the green dragon saw the 5 bone dragons on the battlefield, a hint of provocation flashed through its green pupils. It opened its dragon mouth and sprayed a stream of flames, attacking the 5 bone dragons at the same time. However, its flames had a very large range. Although it only attacked the 5 bone dragons, it also covered Yang Tian, Lang Yu and others. Swoosh. The flames passed by, and Yang Tian, Lang Yu, and even the 5 bone dragons were unharmed. But Huang Mao and Lang Liang were already at low health. Although Huang Mao Lang Liang was a powerful Saint King, he was a player after all. His current HP was only more than 200 million. Even with LV5 Cyan Fighting Spirit, he was still very uncomfortable after being hit by the Holy Beast. Compared to them, Xian Yuan Lang Liang was an NPC Saint King with an HP of 500 billion, so he was naturally not afraid of the Holy Beast. It is worth mentioning that Xian Yuan Lang Liang still has no fighting spirit at present. As mentioned above, the player's fighting spirit comes from the imperial military rank, while the NPC's fighting spirit needs to be comprehended and cultivated by oneself. Generally speaking, the stronger the NPC's fighting spirit is, the higher their talent is. Of course, Xian Yuan Longer has no fighting spirit, which does not mean that her talent is weak. She is not yet 21 years old this year, but she is already a Saint King. This talent is simply outrageous in the eyes of other NPCs. At the same time, because she is young, it is normal even if she has not yet comprehended fighting spirit. You know, which of the other NPC strongmen with fighting spirit is not an old guy in his teens or even hundreds of years old? Retreat, Huang Mao shouted, and retreated with Lang Ling. Windblade. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The green dragon did not stop attacking because Huang Mao and Lang Ling retreated. It was still attacking, and when its wings spread, it excited countless wind blades and crushed towards the 5 bone dragons. Of course, because its attack range was too large, Yang Tian Lang Yu Xian Yuan Longer was also hit by the wind blade. As for the yellow-haired wolfling, he was not hurt because he retreated a distance. Long Yan, stop playing. Our targets are only Han Shui and Lang Yu. It is impossible for you to kill them at the same time. Your task is just to hold Lang Yu back, Xing shouted loudly. I know. Long Yan nodded and quickly controlled the green dragon under him, blowing a strong wind and rushing towards Lang Yu. Gale stab. Heavy attack. Swish. Long Yan flew over on the green dragon, holding a spear in his hand, stirring up a strong spiral airflow and stabbing towards Lang Yu. Lang Yu took out the giant sword and slashed it. The two weapons collided in mid-air, sparks flew, crushed the air, and caused a sharp roar. 102390202011. As a huge damage emerged, Lang Yu lost about 5% of his blood, retreated 3 yards, and his feet plowed a wave of air in mid-air. At this time, Lang Yu's pupils were slightly surprised. Unexpectedly, as a god-level strongman with the same purple full-level fighting spirit, he was actually somewhat inferior to Long Yan. Oh my god, is that Long Yan so strong? Nonsense, Long Yan is a dragon knight. The legendary profession of dragon knight is definitely the strongest among all professions, including hidden professions. The talent of dragon knight dragon riding, as long as you ride a dragon pet, all attributes will be increased by 30%, all attributes will be increased by 30%, what does that mean? The combat power is more than doubled. Seeing Long Yan repel Lang Yu with a shot, the audience in many live broadcast rooms were all shocked. At the same time, countless people imprinted the power of Dragon Knight in their hearts. In fact, Dragon Knight also has a powerful skill Dragon Power, which can weaken the attributes of enemies within a certain range by 30%. Including life, attack power, armor penetration, critical strike, defense, protection, resistance, and even speed, all will be weakened. That kind of weakening is very terrifying. However, whether the Dragon Knight's dragon power is effective depends on whether the dragon pet under his command is strong. Long Yan's green dragon is just a sacred beast. The dragon power he evoked by the green dragon has no effect on Lang Yu, a god-level strongman. When Long Yan restrained Lang Yu, Xinyu Emperor, and Xing entangled Yang Tian. As for Huangmao Lang Liang Xianyu and Long he stayed away from the two battlefields and took the initiative to meet the dozen or so Saint Kings and hundreds of residual blood immortal kings. For a while, the entire battlefield in the sky was divided into 3 different battlefields. Go Yang Tian was going to face Xinyu Emperor and Xing, 2 god-level strongmen, and the 5 bone dragons could not play a role at all. He ordered the 5 bone dragons to help Huangmao and others. Ha! The Emperor of Xinyu roared, leaped into the air, and slashed the hard skull of one of the bone dragons with a sword, and the majestic divine power surged out. Crack! A horrifying sound of breaking sounded, and the skull of the bone dragon actually cracked, and then the whole body was split in 2 by the divine power of the Emperor of Xinyu, turning into countless broken bones and falling down. The Emperor of Xinyu held the dragon-slaying sword, which had the special effect of slaying dragons, causing 10 times the damage to all dragons and those with dragon blood. However, the bone dragons were the corpses of dragons. Strictly speaking, they were no longer dragons, but undead. In other words, when the Emperor of Xinyu used the slaying sword to attack the bone dragon, there was no special effect of slaying dragons. However, even so, the Emperor of Xinyu still killed a bone dragon in one move. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 479. This is normal. After all, the Emperor of Xinyu is a god-level warrior. Even if the dragon-slashing sword does not activate its special effects, it is still a 200-level artifact. On this basis, coupled with his purple fighting spirit, his combat power is extremely terrifying. It is normal for him to kill a holy beast with one full-strength attack. When the Emperor of Xinyu killed a bone dragon in one move, the other 4 bone dragons flew over the battlefield and joined the battlefield on the side of Huangmao and others. In order to deal with the Emperor of Xinyu and Xing, Yang Tian no longer spent his mind to remotely command the bone dragons to fight, but let them attack freely. The Emperor of Xinyu did not chase the bone dragons. In his opinion, killing Yang Tian first was the most important thing. Muddy water, die, the Emperor of Xinyu roared, and the fighting spirit lotus was surging around him. Holding the dragon-slashing sword, he flew towards Yang Tian. He is a god-level warrior, and his speed is obviously 1 level faster than Yang Tian. Undercurrent. With a thought, an undercurrent appeared under Yang Tian's feet, spreading out at a speed visible to the naked eye. In the blink of an eye, A dark lake was formed with Yang Tian as the center. With the dark lake as the horizontal line, from top to bottom, one can feel the strong gravity. Emperor Xinwu was in this range, and under the influence of gravity, his movement speed dropped by 30%. At this time, Yang Tian's speed was already comparable to that of Emperor Xinwu, and even slightly faster than him. Continuous slash. Emperor Xinwu slashed with a sword, and Yang Tian turned slightly to the right and easily avoided his attack. Swish. Emperor Xinwu did not retract his move, and slashed 3 times in a row, crushing the air and causing a sharp roar. Do you think a mere undercurrent can limit my speed? Swish. Emperor Xinwu snorted coldly, and his Doqi changed shape, from Doqi Lotus to Doqi Light Wings, inserted behind him. At this moment, his movement speed soared by 80%. Heavy attack. The Xinwu Emperor slashed with his sword again, but the speed was too fast. Yang Tian couldn't move in time, so he was hit directly. With a bang, Yang Tian was smashed and flew out, and his feet plowed a wave of air more than 10 meters long in the void. What's more terrifying is that the strength of Yang Tian's scarlet shield dropped from 6 trillion to 1 trillion, leaving only 5 trillion. Before, Yang Tian summoned 5 bone dragons and killed the Xinwu Empire and thousands of spirit kings in one wave. However, those spirit kings were strong men with fighting spirit, which made the blue flames of the bone dragons reduce damage several times. Although it was still a kill, the damage caused was not as high as imagined, and the blood-sucking shield was naturally not that strong. If the 5 bone dragons killed 1,000 ordinary players or ordinary NPCs in 1 second, it would definitely be a damage overflow, and the blood-sucking shield would be absolutely terrifying. This is easy to understand. For example, if a person has 10,000 lives, Yang Tian deals 10,000 damage to him and kills him instantly. The blood-sucking staff absorbs 10% of the damage conversion rate. It absorbs 1,000 blood and forms a shield with a strength of 1,000. And if Yang Tian deals 1 million damage to him and kills him instantly, it will absorb 100,000 blood and form a shield with a strength of 100,000. In short, the strength of the blood-sucking shield mainly depends on how much damage you deal in 1 second. Obviously, if it is a group attack, the more enemies there are, the higher the total damage you deal. The weaker the enemy's defense, the higher the total damage you deal. That's the truth. No. Impossible. I now have Cyan fighting spirit, 6 times the damage reduction. How can his damage be so high? With just one move, the shield of the Emperor of Xinwu directly lost 1 trillion strength, which shocked Yang Tian. This is too terrifying. The Cyan fighting spirit lotus was surging around Yang Tian, doubling the damage and reducing the damage by 6 times. At this time, the Emperor of Xinwu was fighting spirit transformed into wings. Although the speed was increased by 80%, the effect of fighting spirit lotus was no longer there. There was no telling how many times the difference was. But even so, the damage of the Emperor of Xinwu was still so high. How could Yang Tian remain calm? Dragon slaying sword? Xing and Longyan were both defeated by me and were repelled by me. They dare to come and kill me now, so they must have something to rely on. It seems that the only possibility is the dragon-slaying sword. Yang Tian stared at the sword in the hands of the Emperor of Xinwu, and had already guessed it in his heart. Just when Yang Tian was afraid of the Emperor of Xinwu and the dragon-slaying sword, the Emperor of Xinwu was also shocked. Shield. Scarlet shield. Xing really didn't lie to me. Muddy Waters was just a saint king, but he was able to release such a powerful shield that even the dragon-slaying sword of this emperor couldn't crush it. The Emperor of Xinwu stared at Yang Tian coldly, his eyes flickering. After a moment, he regained his composure, and even a cold smile appeared on the corner of his mouth again. It doesn't matter. I have the dragon-slaying sword in my hand, which has 10 times the lethality to this guy. I don't believe how strong his shield is. How many times can it withstand my attacks? The Emperor of God sneered, spread his wings behind him, and rushed towards Yang Tian again. He was so fast that he left a trail of afterimages behind him. Bang! Bang! The Emperor of God attacked continuously, and each attack could knock Yang Tian out, causing Yang Tian's feet to leave waves in the void. After all, he was a god-level strongman with too high strength. As long as he used skills, he could knock Yang Tian away almost every time. And his fighting spirit turned into wings, and his speed was extremely fast. Every time he knocked Yang Tian away, he would suddenly swoop up and attack again to knock Yang Tian away again. At this time, Yang Tian was like a football, being hit back and forth in the air by him. Looking at the scene in front of them, whether it was the millions of viewers on the scene or the hundreds of millions of viewers in the live broadcast room, they all felt confused and had a feeling of not understanding. The Xinwu Emperor attacked continuously, and each time he knocked Yang Tian out. Theoretically, the damage of the Xinwu Emperor should be extremely high. However, although Yang Tian was now in a passive position and looked a little embarrassed, he did not lose a single drop of blood from beginning to end. Even some viewers began to suspect that Yang Tian quietly activated the blood lock plug-in. This is normal. After all, even as strong as the Xinwu Emperor, Xing, Long Yan, and others could not see through Yang Tian's scarlet shield, and those viewers could not understand it even more. Swoosh! After being attacked 3 times by the Xinwu Emperor in a row, Yang Tian's shield strength was only 2 trillion, and he had to activate the Doqi wing. The green Doqi around him changed form, from Doqi Lotus to Doqi Light Wings, inserted behind Yang Tian. While Yang Tian's speed increased by 60%, he also lost 6 times the damage and 6 times the damage reduction. This is no joke. Now he has no Doqi Lotus to protect him, he can't withstand a move from the Emperor of God. However, he had to do this. The shield strength was getting lower and lower, and he couldn't bear it anymore, so he decisively gave up defense and used speed to fight against it. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 480. Ha, his shield should be about to break. The scene of Yang Tian's Doqi transformation was seen by Emperor Xinwu and Xing, who sneered at the same time. Your Majesty, if I am not wrong, you only need 1 move to kill this thief in Han Shui, Xing said coldly. Of course. The Emperor Xinwu laughed wildly, spread his wings behind him, and holding the dragon-slaying sword, he flew towards Yang Tian again at a very fast speed. But this time, he failed to cut Yang Tian easily. The Emperor Xinwu is a god-level strongman, and his basic speed is 1 level faster than Yang Tian. Also, the wings of Doqi are purple, and the speed is increased by 80%, Yang Tian only has cyan Doqi wings, and the speed is increased by 60%, which is a difference. However, Yang Tian still has an undercurrent, which reduces the speed of Emperor Xinwu by 30%. Combined. At this time, the speed of Emperor Xinwu was still half a level faster than Yang Tian, but Yang Tian no longer had the previous pressure. With his positioning, he was able to fight with Emperor Xinwu. Yang Tian's indecent positioning made Emperor Xinwu's long attack fruitless. At the same time, the battle was also deadlocked. This stalemate was very advantageous for Yang Tian. Yang Tian had the heart of the divine tree, which restored 10% of his mana per second. Even if he turned his fighting spirit into wings, there was no mana consumption at all. On the other hand, Emperor Xinwu had maintained his fighting spirit into wings for several seconds. I believe that his mana was only half left. A god-level strongman, in a non-combat state, restored 10% of his life and mana per second, but only in a non-combat state. If this continued, he would be even less of a threat to Yang Tian. Yang Tian's heart of the divine tree was a trump card. Emperor Xinwu and Xing didn't even know that he had this thing. Alas, what a stalemate. Didn't Brother Shui kill Emperor Suanwu and kill gods? Why is he so passive against Emperor Xinwu now? You know that Xing hasn't made a move yet. Nonsense, Do you think killing gods is a simple thing? Brother Shui is only at the Saint King level. If it were you, you would have been KO'd by Emperor Shinwu long ago. Okay. That's right, you are so arrogant, get out of here if you don't want to read it. Whoever slanders Brother Shui, whoever questions Brother Shui's strength, is my son. 666, you are really showing off makes my scalp numb. NC fans, don't jump, you are bringing bad luck to Brother Shui, do you know that? As the battle between Yang Tian and Emperor Shinwu fell into a stalemate, the millions of viewers on the scene became quiet, and even many live broadcast rooms became very quiet. You know, each of those live broadcast rooms has tens of millions of fans, but only a few barrages, which is very strange. It's like, a certain author's novels are popular every day, readers are crazy about rewarding, and occasionally no one cares about a chapter. That's terrible. Of course, it's normal for such a situation to happen. After all, they don't know that the Emperor of Shinwu holds a magic sword, and it's the dragon-slaying sword that is fatal to Yang Tian. If Yang Tian doesn't play dirty and fight a war of attrition, he will die. Swish. At this moment, the scene that countless viewers have been waiting for a long time appeared. Xing suddenly stretched out his hand, and a chain like an iron hook swept out from his cuffs, shooting towards Yang Tian like a venomous snake, at a speed that was outrageous. Xing, although he was also in the undercurrent of Yang Tian, the undercurrent only reduced the speed of movement, not the attack speed. Wow! Although countless viewers hoped that the stalemate between Yang Tian and the Emperor of Shinwu would be broken, now it was Xing who took action, and they couldn't help but tighten their hearts and worry about Yang Tian. However, Yang Tian had been on guard against Xing's sneak attack, so he decisively gave up his flash and pulled back 3 yards, making Xing's chain miss. Wow! What a great reaction, I'm kneeling. If it's just a reaction, it's too scary, Brother Shui should be prepared, right? Whether it's prediction or pure reaction, Brother Shui is too scary. The scene in front of him made millions of viewers on the scene boil, and many live broadcast rooms were full of 666 barrages. Yang Tian's operation made countless people tremble, look up, and their scalps tingle. What a pity, Xing and Shinwu Emperor both sighed in their hearts. They knew very well that Yang Tian was just a spent force now. If Xing's chain was hooked, and Shinwu Emperor cut it with a sword, Yang Tian would definitely die. However, it happened that Yang Tian's magic operation just resolved it. Next, the battle between Yang Tian and Shinwu Emperor fell into a stalemate again. The Emperor of God was very angry, but he had no choice. He couldn't kill Yang Tian at all, so he could only wait for Xing to make the next move. Because of this, millions of viewers at the scene turned their eyes to the battlefield between Lang Yu and Long Yan. Many anchors also turned their cameras to that place. After all, there were 2 god-level strong men fighting on that battlefield. Long Yan rode a green dragon, and both the man and the dragon attacked Lang Yu at the same time. The green dragon was just a sacred beast, and the damage it caused to Lang Yu was not high, and it could only play a little role in consumption. And Long Yan was a god-level dragon knight. When he rode a green dragon, the dragon knight's talent dragon riding was triggered, and all attributes were increased by 30%. His combat power was very terrible, and the fierce attack caused Lang Yu to lose blood crazily. In just a few seconds, the blood bar above Lang Yu's head dropped by about 1/3. But Lang Yu had turned into a werewolf berserker at some point. He ignored Long Yan and just attacked the green dragon with all his strength, causing the latter's life to plummet and burst into screams. That Lang Yu is very smart. How can I see it? You have to know that the reason why the Dragon Knight is powerful is mainly because of the cooperation of his dragon pets. Long Yan is a god-level Dragon Knight, while the Green Dragon is just a holy beast. Lang Yu can't kill Long Yan, but he can easily kill the Green Dragon. Dragon. Without the Green Dragon, Long Yan is no different from an ordinary knight. The scene in front of him made millions of viewers at the scene, and even countless viewers in many live broadcast rooms, sigh that Lang Yu's IQ was online. At this time, Long Yan also noticed Lang Yu's intention and couldn't help but sneered, "Lang Yu, what will happen even if you kill the green dragon? I am also a god-level powerhouse. Even if I lose my dragon pet, my strength will not be weak for you." And over there, with the joint efforts of His Majesty and seeing, Muddy Waters has run out of gas. I believe that in a few seconds, Muddy Waters will end dismally, and then the three of us will join forces to deal with you. Haha, you will definitely die. As he spoke, Long Yan laughed wildly with pride. In fact, he just wanted to attack Lang Yu with words and distract Lang Yu. After all, the iron-backed thorn dragon had fallen, and he didn't want to lose the green dragon again. "I see, it turns out you have such a plan." Lang Yu sneered and took out the blood wolf token.